If you're a creative like me, chances are that you have multiple interests and different disciplines that you want to focus on, but you're constantly wondering, how are these two worlds going to mesh and provide a lifestyle and a career that will support me and potentially a family, but still bring me fulfillment and make sure that everything kind of comes together in this one little package? This is a story about how, after many years as a musician, I got to work with not one, but two of my childhood heroes in video production in a recording facility that I never, ever thought I would set foot inside. Stay tuned, because I think you're gonna like this one. Internet, welcome back. This is Robert Teegarden, and today I'm trying something a little different. It's kind of like a story time with Teegarden, and I'm going to bring a whole bunch of different aspects of my life together to hopefully inspire you to continue down your own path, because eventually it all works its way through and you can be and find success on the other side of a bunch of different question marks. Now, to put some context on this particular story, as you can tell, I'm a musician, and I think that's really my first and most passionate love of my life. So I grew up a musician and still consider myself to be one. I traveled around the world and recorded in some of the dopest rooms in the early 2000s, and I played with and or opened for some of my idols, and really got kind of the thumbs up that what I was doing was something that was dope. And that's really just an incredible honor and something I'm really proud of doing. But when I was in high school and trying to figure out my next move, I received a gift from a friend of mine that really changed the course of my entire life.
So this used to be a whole wall of like tiles with your name on it. And your boy is right here. That's me right there. Except they put me with class of 2000. I was a class of 2000.
I was at this hall right here doing a rehearsal when my friend Nyla came and gave me this signed press photo of Incubus's Make Yourself album tour. She told me they just recently did an acoustic performance of Make Yourself at my school where I'm studying music industry, and I think that you'd really love it. You see this right here? This guy right here? That's Alex Katunich, AKA Dirk Lance. And when I was in high school, this guy changed the way I thought about music forever. And I knew when Nyla gave me this picture that I had to do whatever it took to get into this school and study music business. So while I was at CSUN, I was moving around. I was interning 4 or 5 days a week. I was playing in multiple projects. I was able to travel with some of the ensembles and compete in some of the most prestigious competitions and win some of the most prestigious awards from a musical standpoint. And I was always playing in different bands. And what ended up happening is that I landed a gig the day before I graduated with Universal Music Group, licensing this brand new thing called YouTube. Now, after a few years of doing that, I ended up going back to school while working to get my master's because I really wanted to teach at the collegiate level. And in 2016, when I left my job with no real plan of being in filmmaking, I was teaching at a bunch of universities in Southern California. One of my classes, I introduced myself telling the same story I just told you, and I get a DM from one of my students on the side that says, I'm interning for Dirk Lance's new band, East of June. Want me to make an introduction? 16-year-old me just shit his pants. So eventually, after this connection point between my student and Dirk Lance, we had done a few projects together, especially during COVID, where we were doing a live stream concert that was being broadcast on a bunch of different outlets. It was pretty cool. It ended up being watched by 60,000 people at the time, promoted on KLOS, which is a local radio station here. It was just a really rad experience. And from then we continued to kind of build what that relationship was going to be. Now, all of this was actually pro bono because I was helping him and figuring out different elements of what my creative business was going to do and the things I thought I could do, but couldn't quite charge for that value yet because I didn't have proof of concept in a case study that it would work. So I took advantage of this opportunity to work with Dirk and East of June in order to create kind of a reel of things that I could showcase and say, this is what we're capable of doing. Again, pulling heavily from my musical background and the fact that I've been on stage my entire life and was always the person that was going back and forth and editing and doing the look back videos and the tour recaps and all of that stuff. That was my transition into film. So So now I get this phone call after a bunch of different meetings and helping with smaller different edits with that band East of June. And Dirk says, hey, we're thinking about doing a live audio EP. We get to record in the historic EastWest Studios in Hollywood, California. Now, if you haven't seen or don't know about EastWest Studios, it's worth a gander on the internet, because it is one of those rooms that has just recorded some of the most magnificent music that really captivates and defines culturally what we do here in the States. Just an incredible thing. And you can see all the different records that have been made in that facility. So I said, why are you doing just an audio EP? We should set up cameras, take advantage of the fact that you're doing this particular thing, have this particular space with incredible audio. Let's make some videos, dude. And so we set up 5 different cameras and did 3 takes of 5 cameras, resulting in 15 different streams of a multicam session that we put together. And here's the kicker. Dan Estrin of Hoobastank was doing a guest recording with them for this 6-song EP. They were doing a cover of Crawling in the Dark that was one of Hoobastank's biggest songs. They had recruited Regiment Horns, which is just a phenomenal horn section, to do this recording with them. And so I just found myself being so enamored. I got to line check with Dirk Lance's bass and kind of playing around. It was like all of these wild moments of my past and all the different aggregates that I had done and endeavors that I had endured to kind of bring me to this one particular place. Being a musician and then working inside record labels in finance, getting my master's, finding a way to teach, that teaching allowing me to connect with one of my childhood heroes, and that relationship and the building of that allowing me to not only play his instruments, of which I was proficient in, but also do this recording in one of the most historic rooms in LA and make it look badass at the same time with all these different camera angles and streams and lighting effects that we ended up pulling off. And it was really just such a highlight of my life. And it really just gave me the confidence and the courage to continue to push through these things. Because like I said at the beginning of this video, a lot of times as creatives, we have so many different interests and so many ways that we want to be able to provide value with those interests to the world. But it oftentimes seems really murky and not clear how those roads are going to collide and converge to bring us something that's going to be successful. But you are your own unique differentiator, and your life experience is the thing that's going to set you apart from your competitors. Because sure, there's people that shoot better than you. There might be people that edit better than you. There might be people that take better pictures, whatever the case might be. But the aggregate of all of your skill sets make you the thing that people want to work with. And so to be able to utilize those things and provide value and to be able to make sure that you have a place in a creative universe and space that is ever growing, and probably the time in which we've had the most control than we have ever had before. It just gives me a lot of confidence and gives me a lot of inspiration to know that those stories out there exist. And so I really hope that you can find solace in those things and kind of look at the ways in which the different elements of your life that are seemingly desperate, that have nothing to do with one another, are eventually going to converge into something that you can be proud of and something that you can utilize to further your creative career and give yourself freedom and autonomy and purpose, which all leads to happiness and a reason we want to get out of bed and go kick the world's ass because of the cool stuff that we get to bring to it. So ladies and gentlemen, if you like this video, like the damn video, I really would love to hear what you guys think about this particular format and this kind of story time that we're doing here in Teegarden land. Leave me a comment down below and let me know what you think. Thanks so much for going along with this journey with me here. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.